Hey guys, this is Vlad from Ausgeknipst, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can use your Canon AT-1. The AT-1 is a very similar camera to the very popular AE-1 that you might know. As you can see, both look almost identical. The main difference between those two is that, in contrast to the AE-1, the AT-1 is a full manual camera, which means it doesn't have an aperture priority or shutter speed priority mode. Full manual here means you have to set the shutter speed and the aperture on the lens manually. When it comes to the structure of the video, I'm going to start with the battery, how to insert it and what battery options you have nowadays, what lenses the camera uses and how to change them, how the functions, buttons and dials on the camera work, how to load film through the back of the camera, how to compose your image, focus and set correct exposure using the information in the viewfinder, how to take a photo and how to rewind and unload your film. So let's start with the battery. As with most A-line series cameras, the battery door is a weak spot on those cameras, so look out if the camera door is damaged on yours. This one is already slightly damaged and will probably break soon. You can buy replacements in our store if you're interested and have one with a broken door, but this one is still okay. To open the battery door, just pull this little lever, pull it up, and the good thing is that with the AT-1 you can still use widely available alkaline 6 volts battery like this 4LR44 Chameleon one here. Those are widely available online. Still, I prefer to use such an adapter that we already also sell in our store, which is basically a 4LR44 to 4LR44 adapter. Adapts 4 of those button cells that you can buy in any supermarket or drugstore to such an 4LR44 battery. Like you can see, it's the same size. Plus side goes up in this one. The lower contact is spring loaded, and as always, when you get the camera used new, scrub the contacts a little with some metal object to remove any dirt or corrosion, as this may lead to malfunction. That's like the basic thing you have to do on every used camera you buy. That's the battery, and there's also a battery check here on top. Set it to C, pull this little lever, and then when you look through the viewfinder you should see the little needle indicator moving up if the battery is inserted correctly. When it comes to lenses, the AT, like the AE-1 and the A1, takes Canon FD mount lenses like this nifty 50 here. It's an NFD lens, which you can tell by the all black metal housing. It also can use those older breech lock mount lenses with the silver lens mount color. To attach the lens, remove the body cap here. Remove the rear lens cap, press the little silver unlock button and twist it like that. Align the two red dots, top on the body and on the lens. Twist it clockwise until it clicks. That's it with the lens. The lens itself has an aperture dial where you set your aperture, and it obviously has a manual focus dial with a distance scale. That camera is manual focus only, no autofocus here as with most of those vintage SLRs. So you'll have to focus using the viewfinder or by guessing the distance and telling by the numbers here how far the object is away. Be aware that if you set the aperture to the A mode, the camera won't set the aperture automatically like it would do with the Canon A1 or AE1. If you set it to A on the AT-1, it will just step down to f22. So always use the camera with full manual controls, meaning set your aperture manually, as well as the shutter speed, which is located here. This is the shutter speed dial. Twisted goes from a fast 1/1000th of a second down to a slow 2-second shutter speed with bulb mode. And there's also an integrated ISO dial here to set the ISO. Pull up the lever and twist it like this. Okay, now what do we have else? We have an aperture preview step-down lever here, steps down the aperture, so you can preview your depth of field, like you can see here. We have a PC sync and an active hot shoe for use of flash. We have the on-off switch here together with the C for battery check, as I told you before. Activates the light meter basically. Camera, unfortunately, only works with battery inserted with fresh batteries, so no manual mechanical shutter speeds here. We have the viewfinder, we have a film reminder window where you can put the little paper from the film so you don't forget which film you have inserted. We have a lock here together with a self timer. There's a little LED indicator which will start blinking and release the shutter after 10 seconds. And we have the advance. Now, let's, before we insert the film here, it's always good to check the light seals of the camera if you purchased it new on the internet or on the local market. Most of the time those cameras will need new seals, like this one also does. Haven't had the time yet to replace the seals. As you can see, the mirror damper needs replacement. This gooey stuff will fall inside the camera, obstruct your view, so it's good to replace it. And what's even worse, with the old foam of those cameras, which deteriorates over time, it can cause light leaks, which will lead to damaged film and badly exposed photos. So you need to check if the light seals on your camera, like those ones, are deteriorated and need to be replaced. They're located here at the back door hinge as well as on the back of the body, bottom and top groove here. Okay, let me get some fresh film. Have some Fomapan 424 exposures here. Before you insert the film, set the ISO on the ISO dial here that is located below the shutter speed dial. We'll set it to 400 like the film scale tells us, like that, 400. This will tell the camera's exposure meter how to expose the film properly. Now, open the film door, pull up the rewind lever. If I forgot to tell you, to open the door, just pull up on this lever here. It will open the door. Now insert the film like this, close the rewind lever, pull the film above the shutter curtain and insert the film leader inside one of those slits on the take-up spool, like this. Now, while holding the film slightly and lightly with one of your thumbs, release the shutter and advance the film slowly to make sure the film leader is not slipping out of the take-up spool. 2 advancements should be fine. Release again. Now close the back door and check the film counter, which is now set to S. Advance a couple more times until it says 0, like it does here, and now you're ready to go. If you're unsure if you have loaded the film properly, you can always check if the rewind spool is turning together with your advance. When it does, you know that the film canister is making contact with the take-up spool through the film and is getting pulled through the take-up spool. Now, as we've loaded the film, inserted a fresh battery, it's time to compose and shutter our image. To do so, you will have to peek through the viewfinder. Let me show you how it looks inside the viewfinder. So, this is how the viewfinder looks inside. Let me zoom in a little. That's the view. Now, as you can see on the right side, we have our exposure meter, needle indicator, and a little circle thing. Now, when I turn either the ISO dial, the shutter speed dial, or the aperture dial on the lens, the little circle indicator will move like it does here, up and down. And when the light is hitting the exposure meter of the camera, the needle will move up and down. As you can see, it's a through the lens metering. If I cover the lens with my hand, needle goes down, less lights entering the exposure meter. If I remove my hand, more lights hitting the sensor of the light meter and needle goes up. Now, to get proper exposure, I just have to turn the shutter speed dial and or the aperture dial as long as the needle and the circle match like they do here, and I'm getting proper exposure. Let me show you if I turn the battery check button, it's going up here to the top. Now I know batteries are fully loaded. If I'm on the off, if I turn the camera off, the needle goes down. If I turn it on, it should go somewhere in the middle like it does here. Last thing you have to do is to focus. To do so, you have this little helper in the middle. Let me zoom in on it. It's a split screen prism. As you can see, when I turn the lens to focus, the image will get clearer. Now, as a little help, you can see that this circle in the middle is split in half by a line. This is a split screen focus indicator, and to focus correctly, now I'm hitting minimal focus distance here. To focus correctly, I'll just have to make sure that a straight line, like the rim of the lens here, is aligned. So I'm not making full focus here. Let me see if I go there like this. You can see that one of the little holes in the wall getting straight. Now it's in focus. Now the wall would be in focus, the camera wouldn't be. That's it for camera operations. Let me zoom out again. And last thing we need to do is we need to just shoot our film, and to do so, obviously just focus, set your aperture, set your shutter speed accordingly, shoot your film, advance until the film is finished. You can tell when it's finished by the little shutter counter here, depending on the film inserted. This one is a 24 exposures film, so when it's reaching 24, 25, maybe 26, it should be pretty hard to advance. When you hit this resistance with the film, you should tell. Then it's time to rewind the film. To do so, unlock the rewind by pressing this little button on the bottom of the camera here. Pull up the rewind lever. There is a little arrow indicator which will tell you which direction to turn it. Turn it clockwise until there is no resistance anymore. You can even tell it by sound when the film is leaving the take-up spool like I did now. I won't respool it entirely so that I can use it for another manual, but you can basically respool it again completely into the film canister and drop it off at your favorite lab or develop it at home. That's it for today's video. If you have any questions regarding this camera or need another camera manual that I haven't covered yet, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.